What you gotta say, Terry Crews?
This calls out the problem with the racial ideology of the left.
If I watch Gone with the Wind, doesn't mean I'm a racist. I'm a sentient person who understands it was made in 1939.
There was a video on TikTok about these black guys. They were amazing dancers. The big band was behind them, and they were doing all these amazing splits and flipping over each other. It was art. And people were in the comments, too bad they were oppressed. Too bad they couldn't go to the fountain. And this is me. He said, man, you don't understand. These people back in the day, they were heroes.
Mmm.
Facts. That's facts.
Mmm.
That's facts.
The heroes.
I mean, it's a lot of
The
people got background.
heroes. God damn it. Can we just get back to that, please?
Mm.
I say
Yeah,
this
it's
all
a
the
lot of
time,
people.
but
Yeah.
it's like they got the Victim Olympics today, right? We used to look up to people like Rocky, the people that overcame, people that were down on their luck and just they came back and overcame their situation. This is exactly what he's talking about. This is the people that rise above their situation. They transcend their situation. They aren't bound by their situation. They're still going to take massive action either way. It's fucking terrible, dude. It's such a bad example to set for people.
It is. It's still actually it's going on nowadays more than ever. Because it's like if you're not
What?
on this side, you're on that side. So they ridicule you, basically. It goes for a
Well,
lot.
it's
I mean,
polarizing.
yeah. It's now to me
They
it's
want
happening again.
people at
It's
odds. They want
it
people
just
at
seems like
extremes,
we're
right?
back to that more than ever. It was like that a lot back then, but now that's why it's worse now, of course, because we're ridiculing even as you heard in the comments.
No.
What do you
No,
mean?
he's
No, I'm talking
saying
about
that
yeah.
like
What
that's
do you mean?
the people back in the day used to be overcomers. They're not here now. It's this Victim Olympic shit that everybody
I
wants to
know. I said it's
participate in,
happening
right?
more now. Nobody was subjective to stuff like that
Oh,
then because
I
they were
thought
like,
you
these
were
people
talking about the
are
video.
heroes. Yeah, I think you went over your head a little bit, but no, these people are at that
Yeah.
time. They were our heroes. We didn't see them like you guys now see them. No, why are you putting that bad? You putting a bad tarnish on their name? Like you erasing the good history that we've had before. Like these people are heroes, so they don't see that now. It's bad
Right.
now. It's pivoted to a point where we're just ridiculing every little thing like that. And it goes back to the black fatigue thing I'm telling you about. Like I'm put in that situation. That's why I'm fatigued because I don't care about how you feel. I'm fine. Look, I'm okay. Don't worry about me. It's like one of them situations. I remember my sister felt like that. I took her to a comedy show. A good example. Remember, I like to make this about myself. Holy shit. So I took my sister to
That's
a
good.
comedy.
Go ahead.
I took my sister to an improv in Tampa. And me and my wife, I'm biracial. My wife is Italian. I'm an American black man. So we went to the improv. We took my sister, paid for. I got her a ticket, and we thinking, man, she gonna get a good laugh. We don't know who's there. I mean, some of the people that's there, we know about them, met them through Facebook, whatever. So, but one of the host, she's a woman. She's a black lady, and she had like 3 jokes about interracial dating. Nothing of offense, because we love, me and my wife love comedy. We're not worrying about nothing. We're laughing our ass off because some of these jokes she's saying we never heard before when it comes to interracial dating. So it's just funny. We hear interracial dating jokes all the time. But it hit my
Right.
sister in a different way. It hit her differently. She felt in defense to us to where she felt like they're talking about y'all. They're talking about, my brother. They're talking about my sister-in-law. And she don't know we know comedy. No, it's kind of one of those things where, if you're in a crowd, because a lot of people, every joke don't hit everybody the same. So I realized like certain people pick and choose the jokes that'll offend them, that'll hit them. So it can be like for instance, a person that's overweight. They'll laugh about skinny jokes, jokes about race, jokes about, a religion. But when it comes to a fat joke, they're offended. And it's like, why does it hit you? Oh, because you're stuck in this insecurity stage in your life to where you finally found something that hits you, something that really matters to you and affects you in a way. Because to me, it affects you if if you dwell on it like that. But yeah, that example to me was
Right.
perfect because I'm telling my sister, I said, don't worry, we're fine. I said, this is hilarious. We don't come to a comedy show and think about they should and care about them thinking about our feelings or what we deem as disrespectful. It's not up to them. They don't know us. They don't know my name. Why does it matter? So yes,
Right,
I just want to share that
right.
because I felt that on a like a realistic level. And it was my sister, and I had to give her a little pushback, like, no, relax, it's fine. We don't we're not
Just
like
let it go. Let it
we're
go.
not racially fatigued like some people would be. It's not, it's yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that was a
Well,
real
everybody's
situation, by the way.
eager,
I remember that
eager
like
to.
years ago. What's that?
Yeah, a lot of people are eager to get in their feelings, man.
Yeah, we lead with most people lead with their feelings, and I wish they led with reason, more reason than feeling.
That's exactly what he was pointing out though in that video. He was like, they
Mm.
used to be our heroes. These guys were overcomers. And now you're like sad for them and pity them and like, oh my God, you're completely flipping the whole thing. This was supposed to be an overcoming moment, and now you're trying to make them poor, pity, vulnerable, weak motherfuckers, right?
Rem-
Uh,
Remember, and this is why I remember I changed my stance. We talked about this off film. My stance on being a porch ninja, a house ninja, and not a field ninja. So I changed my
oh
stance
yeah,
on that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Remember when I brought? I called you. I
What
actually
a
called you
pivot!
one
What
day.
a pivot!
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm going into what we're talking about because this is why I went into that because I called you one day and I told you, man, I got to get this on my chest because I feel like I changed my stance.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the
I
reason
remember
why
that.
it's about this, but it's about the same topic we're having right now, and hopefully you connect with me on this one. Is that the reason why is because I realized that the porch ninjas or the house ninjas, they had a responsibility. I'm sorry, they was a little more wiser. They knew they weren't gonna get much out of the situation that's gonna benefit them unless they played the game. If we don't play the game, I can't get what I
Yeah.
want. I can't be prosperous. I can't feed my child. I can't teach him how to read or whatever it may be.
Mm,
They was
mm,
granted more access than the field ninjas. So that made it to what in my case where I had to think about it, I'm like, hold on, maybe I wouldn't have acted off my emotions and my impulsions much. Maybe I'd have been a little more wise in those situations and thought off a reason and not emotions and what I felt about it, which is what we're doing now, which is what the subject he brought up about
mm,
that the whole deal. Like these are people like heroes. Like I would have actually been the guy that was doing like you saying did the show and he commented on that it was a circus or something, whatever you said.
mhm.
You don't even know. He probably got fed great. His kids was taken care of. He was happy because he was taken care of. He gave a
Better than the
service.
average, right?
Yeah, he entertained people. So he was fine. He's probably looking back on
Mhm.
y'all from heaven like y'all, I'm in a better position than you
It's like
was
y'all messed up.
now.
I was
So
living good. Y'all messed
yeah,
up,
yeah. What do you? It's
or at
ridiculous,
least
man.
better, right? But you're right. You got to play the game to win the game, you know.
Yes, you have to play the game to win the game, and yeah, not trying, yeah,
And
it's a failure.
most people probably refrain from doing it because of their emotions, you know.
Mm. How would I
It's
feel? What
another
would
thing
people
with
say? Yeah.
the thing that hits me with that you're talking about, like how your view thinks of how you would have been then, and then older your view thinks of how you would have been then, and all this shit is really just pontificating about, and
Mm,
it's annoying on some level because people always like to pretend about who they would be in some stressful situation that they've never been in before in their life,
yeah.
and it's so annoying. 'Cause, like, we can talk
Uh,
about it from our first world positions and our first world knowledge and our this and our that. It's like, you don't know who you would have been then or what you would have been thinking
yeah.
then.
If I had $1,000,000, what I'd do, you don't know what the
It's like,
hell.
cause if you look back into, like, the slave days, a lot of the slaves actually thought that they were subhuman. A lot of the
Mm,
slaves actually
mm,
thought that they were, like, dumb and couldn't learn and stuff. It's like, man,
mm.
how brainwashed you gotta be to start thinking all that shit, right?
It's not even just brainwashed. You still have South West Africans that's just like you'll be like they're dumb as a box of rocks. It's just it was just a
Yeah.
culture. It wasn't something that they wanted to be. It's just part of the culture. That's how I was raised. We got put, not taken but given or you know transition,
Yeah.
exchanged. through currency and whatever else may be. So
But
they didn't know better. It wasn't not that they didn't know better. They had
but
survival skills, not business. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah,
you say it's a cultural thing, but
yeah.
it's multifold because it's like that old conversation of nature versus nurture. If you believe that because of nature you are this way and you just can't get smarter, that's one thing. But nurture being culture in this situation, being something that you can grow, and if your culture tells you that you're too dumb to grow or whatever the case is, that's a whole nother situation.
It doesn't tell you that. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's being. Like even Spain, people from Spain that came over here into this country, this
But
land,
they
they didn't know
tell
that they would. If you go to Spain right now, it's nothing like America. And these are the people that came and conquered this land. They're nothing like that. So it's not.
Right.
It's not about your culture keeping you dumb. It's just a way of life. It's the way it is. It's like you meeting somebody that's never been taught how to
What?
fucking do anything good for themselves. It's just culture thing. It's how they was raised. It doesn't mean they
But
want to be that way.
that's
That's all
crazy.
they know.
That's crazy though, because that's not nature.
It's not
Nature,
nature.
they would
Yeah,
learn to
not nature. No, no,
grow and
no.
be strong and go to hunt and do the things. That's what nature they would be doing
Yeah,
in
yeah.
nature. They are human just like everybody else. They can learn, they can do their stuff. But once the growth comes in after you're born, once you got all your traits you're born with, right? That's nature.
Uh,
Everything after that would be growth, which will be your nurture. Which if you destroy somebody's nurture, that sucks. But these people actually, a lot of them, I think, thought because of just nature. Like a lot of people out there kind of do the gender or the race thing, right? Like certain
uh,
races are superior for intelligence and this and that.
uh,
Like you're really shifting that person's life and thinking about themselves or what they're even capable of, you know?
uh, huh.
Because
Yeah,
you got some people that think out of the box, they're just fucked. They just have no chance out of the box. As to where
yeah,
you're saying culturally, like as you grow, you realize that, well, maybe I can improve.
yeah. But depending on remember, when you mention the word culture, that's like a million different. I don't know, thousands and millions of different cultures. Some
Well,
cultures, it's
it's
enough just to
it's
know
the
how to
same
hunt and
thing.
go kill a buck or go kill a hog or a like that. To some cultures, that's enough. You don't have. There's no more elevation. There's no more
Well, that
nature nurturing, and it stops there. So what I'm saying is that that's all they knew, though. That doesn't make them dumb. They feel like there was enough. Like there was enough. Some of these people, which once again I'm talking about the porch ninjas, they some of them, which to me was dog hybrids, hybrid Africans or whatever it may be, to where they saw a higher heights, a nurture, and nature. They saw that. They saw, okay, I can actually grow here. I can actually be in a lot better position if I play this game. I play by the rules. That's a difference, but
yeah,
that's
that's the
like
culture game.
those are
Yeah.
hybrid people when they come from Africa culture. But most of them, like you were saying, like we were probably even to this day. I remember growing up, I might feel sorry for. 'Em. I'm like, damn, they picking the cotton. Man, that's so sad. They got all this labor work in Africa. They didn't have as
Yeah.
half as much as that by picking this cotton. So and this goes back into this conversation we started about this whole thing that we were still here, by the way. But yeah, it goes back into that where stop being so opinionated about the history of what these people had been through. They actually probably they were fine. They were okay
Or
where
just
they were, you know?
don't water down the champions that we've had over the generations just because you want to look at them with pity and your fucking
Yes.
slave morality that you want
Yes.
to put on them. Like,
Ca-
ugh.
Can I give you? I gotta give you a real example because I love talking about myself. But 2017, I remember the year. 2017, I was working for a
Mhm.
construction company, a remodeling company, and we was up in Tampa. We had a job out in Tampa, and we working at a new job. We was building this new house. It was actually an add-on to a house, new construction, and our truck, my foreman parked up against like to the next door neighbor's yard in front of the yard, and where he parked. Where if I step out, I step into like the side, the grass, which was owned by the homeowner in front of the house we were parked in front of, which was not the house we were working on. So this
Mm.
black man came out yelling at me. I had my headphones on. I didn't even know he was yelling at me. I just thought he was approaching, maybe talking to us, maybe talking to the guys. But I stepped out the truck and I had my headphones on. He's just yelling. The guys told me about it before after the fact. But he was yelling the whole time. As soon as you stepped out the truck. When I stepped out, I stepped into their little groves, it wasn't just regular grass off the easement. It was a nice little groves there, like some plants almost. And I stepped into them. And so the black man came out and he's just yelling. So I finally took off my headphones and he just like, get off, get your, I'm standing in, I'm still standing in these groves, these plants, these beautiful little, I guess, little grass. I call them, it looked like grass to me, but it had a little plant culture to it, agriculture to it. And he's yelling and I'm like, damn, what's going on? I say, oh, I put my hands up like, it was an officer. I say, oh, whoa, what's going on? He said, hey, you get out this lady's yard. I'm here cleaning for this lady. I take care of this lady, everything at her house. I take care of this lady. I do everything. Get out of here, get out of here. He yelling at me. Y'all was gonna grab me. I saw him, hey, back up. I said, I got you. I said, slow down. I stepped off, I stepped to the sidewalk. And the lady come out. And this is not just something like he has no business. He's no sole proprietorship. He has nothing. He's just a regular guy in the neighborhood or someone she know, black man that does work for her. She's a white woman, by the way. So mind you, this is maybe 2 years into Florida. I'm not here long. So after the fact, the guys tell me that's been living here for over 30 years. They say, hey, that's a slave, right? What you mean that's a slave? This is 2017. That's a slave. He said, slave ownership is illegal here in the state of Florida if it's consensual. You can consent to working for someone, just like if it would be, and this is why it's legal, because you can be a
what a
servant.
weird dynamic that is, huh?
Is it really? I don't know if you ever heard this, but maybe this might be something new for anyone that's listening. But 2017, if it's consensual, it's just like you doing being a sole proprietor and having some cleaning services or some home
Well,
remodeling
it's like a
services or
1099 almost.
yeah, 1099 on the most. But this is under the table we're talking about here. But I mean, just like everybody
Yeah,
else does
right.
it.
Right.
Painters do it, lawn care, they all do it. They don't go get licensed. They just does the work till they get caught. So the guys are telling me it's a slave. And he's like, oh no, I'm like, there's no way slavery is over. What are y'all talking about? Because in my mind, slavery is cotton picking. Slavery is what the history has shown me back in the
Yeah, you have a
past.
certain image of it in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my image of slavery. So he said, no, it's consensual. This guy, he said he was actually serious about it. He said he would have took your head off if you wouldn't have disciplined. I mean, if you wouldn't have got off the grass and went obeyed just like that. He wasn't really aggressive with me. I never really saw that before. I haven't took on that much aggression before at that time. So this tells you right here that the once again, we put so much, and I ain't gonna lie, after this day, I'm closing. I'm trying to kill the story because it could be long, but I'm killing it because after that day, when I went home, I talked to my wife about it. I called my mother, I called my sister, I called my brother. I was like, hey, that slavery still in here is just consensual. It was shocking to me in a way where I felt, once again, we on the same subject, maybe beating a dead horse here, but to where I felt sorry for the man. I was like, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. He has to go through this. That's the way he had to find work.
Pity.
Is to go, yeah, I had pity, right? But mind you, this guy, he's probably the best he's ever had. The way he's treated by this lady, she's probably paying him a decent wage, because he's at a limit of his life where he feel like that's everything to him. Who knows? But here I am having pity and judging the simple fact, I know nothing
They're
about that.
two very different perspectives on the same situation,
Ah, he was angry. He was pretty pissed, man. He was pretty pissed.
Well,
He's pretty pissed.
he's taking ownership, which I think is actually pretty cool. But
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I had nothing. We didn't
no,
fight. We didn't argue about it.
I don't even know if
stepped.
I don't even know if he should be, but it seems like he's taking ownership of the situation, which is pretty cool because I say that because it's like, yeah, until somebody actually takes ownership of something, they're not really going to care about it. And for him to actually care about something to that level, it's not even his, it's kind of crazy. It's like, okay, dude, whatever.
It was. I feel it was the same way back then when you had the porch ninjas, the house ninjas, whatever y'all call it, Uncle Tom's, whatever you call it. That was the same concept to where they protected their entity. They protected what they worked for. They protected what they earned. in that they felt that in that setting. And who are we to have pity or mourn over their success? How are you?
Well, this goes back to indentured servitude. You know about that, right?
No, I don't. Yeah, enlighten me.
Well, indentured servitude is what a lot of people point to when they talk about like the world we live in today. They just call it indentured servitude. I've looked it
Mm,
up for you just to see. Indentured servitude is a labor system where a person, the indentured servant, agrees to work for another person, the indenturer, for a fixed period, typically in exchange for passage to a new country, housing, and food.
Ooh,
Temporary
yes.
temporary contractual form of labor was prevalent in the colonial America and other European
Ooh.
colonies in the 17th and 18th centuries, but differs from slavery in that it was not a permanent or lifelong. So it's like slavery, but it's like for a set period of time, maybe like 4 years, 7 years, whatever the fuck they were, right?
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. To me, it's consensual. I mean, sometimes I feel like
Yeah,
I'm being
this is
slayed.
consensual. But that's
I'm
kind of
slayed.
the game. That's what a lot of people treat the system today like it's indentured servitude.
Yes, I'm
Like
one of them. I
every
mean,
job today is a lot of people look at like every job today as a form of indentured servitude.
yeah,
You'd be
yes,
like, I
yes,
agree to be here because I have to be. Fuck this.
yes, yes. That's so true. That's so true, man. Wow, that's
Yeah,
so true.
yeah.
Everybody I hear talk about the job, they have to because the responsibilities they have. They can't pay that bill. They can't pay that
Mm,
mortgage. They can't keep their child in daycare. Blah blah. It goes on and on. Insurance. It goes on and on. I'm here because I have to be here. That's so crazy. That
mhm.
makes sense in the modern time here.
I think we're about to hit a time where everybody,
Mm.
and I've heard this a few years ago, but I think families are going to start condensing again in the same house.
It's already started. It's already
Yeah, I think it
started.
started a little bit like a little post COVID. I think it started maybe because of COVID. I think a lot of it
Po-
started, right? But
It's post COVID, but it's post rates.
it's so-
Rates
it's
has
somewhat
went up.
because of
Food, cost of
well,
living, cost of food,
somewhat
cost of
because of some. Yeah, yeah, but somewhat because of COVID too, though.
yeah, it started there. I just
Well,
gave more, but yes, yeah, post COVID. Yeah.
I say that because a lot of the prices went up for things because of COVID.
Yes. Yes.
You know, like remember when he
Mhm.
had shipping containers just sitting off the coast that couldn't unload because of
Yep.
whatever the hell, and
Yep.
then
Yep.
that backs up depot or your
Yeah, our
Amazon
imports
orders.
slowed down. I mean, it
Whatever it
did.
was,
Yeah.
right? And then it creates this chain reaction, and then I don't
Hmm.
know,
Same thing what
mismanagement,
a war would do. That's why I mean,
mis mismanagement of a lot of these products and goods is probably part of it
I'm
too.
okay
And
with it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying it's peace over war, but the country is in more in need. I mean, more in need of that than anything right now.
yeah, we'll
Tragedy.
be all right. We just need to bring back treason. We'll be fine.
Nah, it takes a tragedy. It takes a tragedy. It takes a tragedy of a
Well,
whole. It
when consequences start being had because of treason, people will start to wake up.
yeah, that's true.